Hi, everybody. Happy Sunday. So, I like to think of today of our Sunday restorative practice as sort of self-care Sunday, right? Like we all come back to the mat on Sunday nights to reset ourselves and kind of restore and renew ourselves for the week ahead. I shouldn't have a computer update issue today. I'm hoping. Uh, when I don't film for a period of time and I don't turn the computer on, it does a self update when I do. And that is what happened last week. And it froze our live stream. So I couldn't even get back into it from another computer. But that's okay because we're here today. It was a full moon last night. So last night was full moon in Virgo. So I thought one of the things that would be nice to do today as part of our restorative practice is we can do a forgiveness and karma release meditation that will just help reset us for March, which is tomorrow. So if you follow along with the playlists, I'm still using, this will be the last Sunday that I'll use the February playlist, and I will share a new March playlist for next week. I think spring is in the air. I feel it. I'm hoping. So if you are following along with the playlist, then we'll get started. And we're starting in a supported bound angle. So if you have pillows and blankets nearby, grab them. So we're sitting upright. You're going to take your feet, bring them together to touch. And so you're making this like a diamond shape here in the middle. And then just use your blankets here because this is a restorative practice. This should be a nice restorative bound angle. So settle in, really adjust the sits bones so that you feel like you're nice and even on the yoga mat. And then you're letting the knees just get heavy down toward the mat. And now do a little check-in with the shoulders, with the neck. Maybe roll the shoulders back. And if you find that you're kind of hunched forward or clenching anywhere, see if you can just loosen things up, let go. And once you find your alignment and your posture, you might want to even take a hand on the heart. Oop, not on my microphone. On the heart and on the abdomen, on the belly. And just start to tune in with the breath. Start to notice as you breathe in. Start to follow that breath. Where does it go? And now's a good time to start to check out of the thinking mind. Check into the physical body. Start to notice where you're holding on to tension today, what stuff you're bringing with you. And is there anything that you can let go of in your practice today? And let's all set an intention just to reset, to let go. The full moon can be really cleansing, especially if you use it as a tool and you tune into your body, kind of see if you can let go of whatever the stuff is. So the to-do list, things for tomorrow, see if you can just acknowledge those things, but then let them go. Nothing's going to change between now and when we're done with this practice. So whatever the problems are, you will probably face them with a clearer mind once you give yourself the time and the opportunity to practice this self-care. And if you're struggling with the breath, see if you can just start to count, maybe to a count of 6 or 8 as you breathe in. Hold your inhale at the top, maybe take in just a little bit more and then exhale, slow, long exhales. So this part is really important and also really difficult. Once we get moving, it's easier not to think about all this stuff because your body is moving. But when you're sort of stagnant and sitting and breathing, it's very easy for the mind to wander and get busy. So this is where you really have to use your breath and really focus on the physical sensations. And sometimes it helps to, and this can help off the mat too, just in life, when you feel that way, when you feel sort of stressed and anxious, close your eyes and then just focus on one thing you can hear right now. And as you're breathing in, one thing that you can smell, maybe it's a candle or a aromatherapy of some sort that you have that's part of your practice. But try to focus on those tangible physical things, which really helps to take the focus off of the stuff. Bear with me, stay with this, stay with the breath. And this is where I just want to read through this forgiveness and karma release formula so that we can just have this as a sort of frame of mind or reference for this practice tonight. Under the full moon, I forgive everything, everyone, every experience, every memory of the past or present that needs forgiveness. I forgive positively everyone. I also forgive myself for past mistakes. The universe is love, and I'm forgiven and governed by love alone. Love is now adjusting my life. Realizing this, I abide in peace. I bring love and healing to my life. I've learned my lessons. I call on my soul fragments to be cleansed and to rejoin me. I send love to myself and everyone else. I'm healed. My life is healed. And so be it. So maybe that will help inspire an intention for you tonight, but forgiveness, not just for others, but to yourself for whatever, whatever stuff, whatever mistakes, however you react to things, let it go, start again. So 2 more really big, deep, get an audible exhale. So you can even try like a Ujjayi or lion's breath on the exhale, but really see if you can let it be a cleansing couple of breaths here before we start to move. And then when you're ready, you can move your props just to the side, anywhere out of the way for the moment. And we'll meet back in an easy seat. So coming out of the bound angle that we were settling in here to start. But it's a nice gentle way to start to open the hip flexors too, without getting too deep. So already you did a little work without even realizing it. So starting in an easy seat, we're going to take our side body stretches that we typically take with the leg extended, but keeping with this easy seat posture. And you can even switch your cross. So maybe switch and put this opposite ankle than what you normally gravitate to and cross that over and just see if you get a little bit of a different stretch here. So dropping the right arm parallel with the right thigh, we're starting on this side. So we're getting a nice big left side body stretch. As you're coming over, don't let that left hip come up. Keep that left hip low near the yoga mat. Keep that left side body as glute down on the mat is going to want to kind of follow you up as you stretch here. So using that right arm as a kickstand, parallel to your right thigh, reach that left arm all the way up, and then check in with your posture here. Roll the shoulders down and back, keeping everything in alignment. And then you can extend that arm all the way toward the opposite wall, maybe twisting up toward your arm if it feels okay in your body. And we're taking the breath here. So use your breath as a tool. As you exhale, can you reach a little further toward that opposite wall? Try not to dump the weight into the right side. As we're here, you can start to feel heavier and start to sort of dump weight here. So keeping everything up with your core. One more big breath. Exhale, come all the way back up, switching sides. So that left arm is coming down parallel with the left thigh. Same thing. You're reaching that right arm all the way up toward the ceiling first, not letting that right glute or knee come up off the yoga mat. They're going to stay heavy down toward the yoga mat, and then roll the shoulders down and back. They'll start to come forward here. So readjust yourself, and then reach that right arm all the way toward the opposite wall. Maybe turn up and into this and breathe. Again, using your core to hold you up here, not losing any of our alignment, not overextending or stretching in the neck. Just a nice, gentle side body opening. Use your breath as a tool. As you exhale, can you reach that right arm a little further toward that opposite wall? One more big inhale. Big exhale. Come all the way back up to center. Now we'll extend the leg. So extending the leg on the right side first. Same thing. Drop that right arm down parallel to the right thigh. Left arm reaches up toward the ceiling. Left foot is coming in toward that right inner thigh. Again, find your alignment, find your posture. Roll the shoulders down and back, and then reach all the way over toward that opposite wall. Keeping your right foot flexed. Using your core. Sticking with those nice, big, deep, cleansing breaths. And then exhale back to center, switch sides. So bring that right foot in to meet the left inner thigh, extending that left leg all the way out. Same thing, drop that left arm down parallel with the left thigh. Right arm reaches all the way up this time. Adjust. And then reach toward that opposite wall. And breathe. As you exhale, can you deepen that stretch? Can you reach a little further toward that wall? Not losing your core. One more big inhale. One more big exhale. Come all the way back up to center. We're going to take our props now. So you're going to set yourself up to take a little fold over each side. So whatever props you think you need, depending on your flexibility. So you're bringing that right leg all the way out. It's extending out again. Left foot is coming into the right inner thigh. This time, shift the hips so you're facing toward that right leg. So that way You get a little bit better alignment. And then whatever props you want to use, set those up. You can go either lengthwise and fold over your props this way, or you can flip and have them across your knee and then fold over this way. Or maybe you need a little bit of a deeper stretch tonight. It depends on what you feel like your body needs, in which case try to fold all the way over. Again, you don't have to keep this leg hyperextended. You can have a little micro bend in the knee if that helps you to deepen that stretch and get a little bit more of a release in the lower back. Because that's really what we're going for, is we want to really get that release. And if you're really focused on hyperextending the leg, you're going to stiffen up back here and you're not going to get as much out of the stretch. So set yourself up whichever way you're going. Your stack of pillows, one pillow, no pillow. Tilting toward that right foot, and then we'll reach the arms all the way up. Maybe look up, bring the gaze up toward your full moon that's out there in the sky. It's a little less full than it was last night, but that's okay. Take a really big breath. Maybe rotate the wrists here, clench the fingers, open them, give your wrists a little love. And then exhale, come all the way down, folding over that right leg. This is one of those places that we're going to sit and use our breath as a tool. So focus now on relaxing everything. Let everything get heavy in this fold. That's why it can be helpful to use props so that you're not focused on trying to bend, but rather settling in. Really big, deep inhales, and as you exhale, you can even imagine that you're just letting go of whatever it is that you're worried about, that you've been carrying around with you this week. We're starting over. March 1st is tomorrow. Let go of this stuff. Forgiveness of yourself and others. Practicing some self-love here. One more really big, deep inhale. Really long exhale. And then come all the way back up. Switch sides. Set yourself up. So you're extending that left leg all the way out this time. Right foot comes into that left inner thigh, except this time you're going to take that little shift, that little tilt in the hip so that you're kind of facing more toward that left leg. Figure out where you want your props. Make all your little adjustments. It is important to just really set yourself up to just get the most out of the stretch. Then when you're ready, reach all the way up toward the ceiling. And remembering not to let the shoulders and the shoulder blades come all the way up with you, but keeping the shoulders down and back, reaching the arms up. Look up. Maybe wiggle the fingers, rotate the wrists again. And then exhale, fold over. And again, the idea here is not to hold, waiting to get out of this, but to start to use your breath as a tool. Can you really start to let yourself get heavy with your exhale? And let yourself start to let go of some of that tension that you're holding in your body. And really tune into all those little sensations. Do a little check in while you're here. As you're breathing, is there anywhere that you're holding on to tension? Did you start to clench your jaw? Did your shoulders creep up by your ears? Can you just let everything get heavy and relaxed? One more really big, deep inhale. Really big, deep cleansing exhale. And then come all the way back up. We're just going to take some neck stretches here. So you can move your props out of the way. Come back to your easy seat. And again, take that time, that moment to just shift, shimmy, straighten yourself out, adjust your sits bones, roll the shoulders down and back. Neck is long, head is going up toward the ceiling, almost like you have a string pulling your head up toward the ceiling. And this alignment is so important for your neck stretches in order to really, get the most out of them. They can be really deep and intense if you're in the right alignment. If you're not going to feel that sensation quite as much. So we'll start with just some neck rolls, some gentle neck rolls, letting that right ear drop down toward the right shoulder, but not letting the left shoulder creep up. So keeping that left shoulder down, keeping the shoulders down and back. So letting that ear just get heavy toward your right shoulder and then roll the chin down toward your chest. Inhale, coming up onto the left. Stick with that, dropping back down toward your chest. Inhale back up toward your right. So on your own breath. And next time you make your way over to your right, stay there, letting that right ear get heavy toward the right shoulder, and now extend that left arm out, making your little stop sign, your little open palm gesture here. So that's going to deepen that stretch that you feel under the arm, going right up into the neck. So start to play with that. Lift that arm up, maybe back, until you feel it. You'll feel it when you get there. And then breathe into that space. Tiny movement, big stretch. Deep inhale here, really big exhale. And then bring that left arm in, drop that chin to the chest again, switching sides. So letting that ear come over toward the left now. And you're extending that right arm out, making your little gesture here, your little open palm stop sign. And then lift the arm and stretch it out and maybe back until you feel that really deep, intense stretch. It doesn't look like much, you guys, but when you get it, whew. Let that really take advantage. Let that left ear get really heavy toward the shoulder, keeping that arm coming up and back as you feel that big, deep stretch. One more really big, deep inhale, really big exhale. Shake your arms out a little here. Just do a little flap. I don't even know what else to call it. That's just what it is. It'll feel good. We're going to go into a boat pose. I don't do that a lot in restorative yoga, but I feel like it will feel yummy tonight. So let's go for it. So coming onto the sits bones, you're bringing the knees up toward the ceiling. Feet are flat on the floor. First part of this posture that you really want to focus on is getting yourself set up correctly and your spine in alignment, shoulders down and back. So you don't want to start off like this because it's just not going to go well from there. So again, doing that little check-in with alignment and posture, and do whatever little shimmies you need to do, little shifts, but you want to feel like you're nice and straight, almost like your back is up against a wall. Then you can reach the hands up underneath the thighs, come up onto the toes, and start to walk your feet toward your bottom. So just getting into the posture. And then play with it. Lift one leg. See how it feels. Don't grip. Bring it down. Try the other. Maybe you try both. So this is where you're going to have to use core, balance. And another place you can go with this is you can start to let go with the arms. So maybe it's easier for you to balance even sometimes to try letting go one arm, then the other. So using core now to hold this. Breathe. And we can add on to this, we can add a little movement. So you're going to exhale, lift, inhale, drop. Almost like little mini crunches. You'll feel this in your lower abdomen. 2 more. Great. Bring the knees together. We're taking a forward fold right from your easy seat. So bring your props, your little cushions in front of you, and then exhale, fold over. And take a second just to breathe here. Letting the tailbone get really heavy down toward the floor. Maybe it feels good to you today to not have the props here and just come all the way down. Play with both. See what your body responds to. Everybody's a little different. Two more breaths. Really big, deep cleansing breaths. Notice as you breathe in, notice the difference here, feeling the expansion in the rib cage in the back as well as the front because we're here folding forward. And then when you're ready, we're meeting in tabletop position, hands and knees. So wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Imagine that your back is one long straight line from the top of your head all the way down to your tailbone, coming right into our cat-cow here. Inhale, drop the belly, chin comes up, tailbone comes up. Exhale, round it out. On your own breath, inhale, drop the belly. Exaggerate this movement as much as you can. So really dipping that navel down, tailbone is coming up, chin is coming up. You're getting this nice stretch under your neck. Exhale, round it out. Picture a shrimp, an angry cat, an angry C-A-T, not K-A-T. Stick with it. Keep breathing. Maybe bring some movement into it. Maybe close your eyes. Feel it out. Maybe move the hips. Find where you're tight and get into those spaces. Try to make it organic. No one's watching you. So just feel the movement rather than worrying about how it looks. One more really big deep inhale, drop the belly, chin comes up, tailbone comes up, exhale. Round it out. Coming back to a neutral spine, you're going to drop down onto the forearms. We're going to take a puppy pose here. So you're really going to melt the heart all the way down, reaching the arms toward the front of the yoga mat. Tailbone's coming all the way up. And then your head can go where it feels comfortable. You can lie with your cheek on one side or the other on the yoga mat, or you can deepen the stretch by letting your chin rest on the yoga mat, stretching out underneath the neck. Or forehead to mat also. Option to deepen this stretch a little bit too. If you feel like you could take a little more from it, you can take your props and you can actually lift your hands onto your props and then melt the heart down. Which just deepens that stretch and that sensation a little bit more. Again, this is one of those poses where you have to let it do its work. So breathe here. Don't focus on the sensations of when am I getting out of this? This is a deep stretch, but more, what can I take out of this? As you exhale, can you get a little heavier? Can you let go of any stuff? Can you release any tension anywhere that you're still holding on to? Two more big breaths. And then inhale, come all the way back up. You can move the props out of the way. So we're coming back up onto our hands and knees, our tabletop. You're just going to bring the big toes closer together, widen the knees out a little bit toward the other opposite sides of the yoga mat. And then we're going to take our stretch here where we thread the needle underneath. So reaching that right arm all the way up toward the ceiling, really reach, reach, reach. And then exhale, thread the needle. Right arm comes underneath that left. And your left arm can go wherever it feels comfortable. Maybe you reach all the way out in front of you. Maybe you take the bind here so you can reach that left arm behind and kind of hook your hip on the opposite side. But the idea is to, again, like all these other poses, settle in. Let your body get heavy. Let your breath do some work. One more really big deep inhale. Really big deep exhale. And then to come out, you're going to push down into that left palm. Right arm comes all the way back up toward the ceiling. Maybe rotate the wrist here. Flex again. Bring that right arm down, switching sides now. Left arm comes all the way up toward the ceiling. Reach, reach, reach. And then thread the needle underneath that right arm. And then right arm can go wherever it's comfortable. So maybe you reach all the way out in front of you. Maybe you take the bind. Find where you can settle in. Get heavy. Come back to your breath. Back to the intention of letting go and forgiving yourself and others. One more really big, deep inhale here. Really deep, long exhale. And then you're going to, again, push into that right palm. Left arm comes all the way up toward the ceiling. Rotate the wrist. Come back to your tabletop position. So again, separating the feet here. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, tuck the toes. We're going to push it all the way up, downward facing dog. Take a moment here to feel out this down dog. It's likely your first down dog of the day. So stretch it out, extend one leg, bend the opposite knee. I'm going to take some little crunches here. Don't worry, you got this. But just to get the heart rate up a little, to help to release some stuff. So find some stillness. When you're ready, kick that right leg all the way up behind you. Open the hip, stretch it out. So to open the hip, you're kicking that right foot toward the opposite wall, but not dumping all the weight into that opposite side. You're keeping the weight evenly distributed between both sides. Bring that leg back down, switch sides. So now kick that left leg all the way up, open the hip. Breathing here. And then that foot comes back down to meet the other. And now we're just going to take some little crunches. So starting with the right, you're going to bend that right knee, bring that right knee to the opposite side of the right elbow. Kick it back out on the exhale. Inhale, right knee comes between the palms. Exhale, kick it back out. Inhale, right knee opposite of the left elbow. Kick it back out. Again, inhale, right knee, right elbow. Exhale. Inhale, right knee between the palms. Kick it back out. Right knee, left elbow. Kick it back out. Switching sides. So first, bring that right leg back down. Take a breath, pedal it out. On to the left. So you know the flow. Now left knee, bend that left knee, bring it in. Left elbow. Exhale, kick it out. Inhale, in between the palms. Exhale, kick it out. Inhale, left knee, right elbow. Exhale, kick it out. One more time. Inhale. Through the middle. And then left knee, right elbow. Come back to your down dog. Take a breath. Maybe come up onto the toes. Roll out your feet a little. Roll it forward into plank. And hold your plank here for 5, 4, 3, 2. Push it back up, downward facing dog. Take a breath. One more time, roll it forward. Plank. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2. Push it back up. Down dog. We're going right into pigeon now. So option to take figure 4 here if pigeon is not for you. If you're coming into pigeon, starting with the right, kick that right leg all the way up behind you. Exhale, knee between the palms, but this time you're lowering all the way down. So roll the shoulders down and back. Find that upright pigeon first before you try to go anywhere else with it. Take that extra time to set yourself up, find your alignment, find your posture. And then take a really big deep breath here as you roll the shoulders back. Open up the chest, open up that heart chakra. Maybe look up. Breathe here. So a couple options here. You can bring it all the way down using your props and fold over your props and come down. You can stay upright. You can add on here by kicking that left leg up, reaching behind, grabbing onto that left leg with the left arm, and maybe lift that right arm. So see what feels good. Take what you need. Breathe here. Come back to those really big, deep inhales and exhales that we started with. And see if there's anywhere that you're still holding on to tension. Are you clenching your jaw? Do you feel tightness anywhere? Can you let that go? One more really big, deep inhale. Really big exhale. If you came down in your pigeon, come back up. If you did, take the added extra leg kick here. Let that leg come back down. We're all meeting in our upright pigeon with our palms flat on the yoga mat. To come out, tuck the toes on the left side, push down into the palms, kick that right leg all the way up, open that hip again. And then bring that leg down to meet the other. You probably feel dramatically different right now from right to left, which is the magic of yoga. Stretch it out. Maybe come back up onto the toes and roll your feet back out. And then kick that left leg all the way up behind you, bringing that left knee now between the palms, taking pigeon on the other side. If you chose to take figure 4, then you're switching sides. So make all your little adjustments. Let that right leg extend back behind you. Roll the shoulders down and back. Lift the chin, open your heart and your throat chakra. And when you find your alignment, decide where you want to go with this. Do you need to make this restorative and come all the way down? Or do you want to get a little more of a stretch out of it? In which case you can play with adding that kick of the right foot, reaching the right arm all the way behind. And you can extend that left arm out if it feels good. Again, everyone's different. Everyone needs something different. So it may feel better to you to come down tonight, and that's fine. This is your practice. So take what you need. Find a place where you can settle in. Wherever that is. And then tune in to the sensations you're feeling in your body. Where else are you holding on to tension that you can let go of? Breathe wherever you are. Come back to those really big, deep inhales. Maybe count to 6 or 8 as you inhale. Hold the breath at the top. Exhale, let it go. Two more really big, deep inhales and exhales wherever you are. And then wherever you are, we'll all meet back in our upright pigeon. So either work your way back up slowly or release that leg. If you grabbed your leg to come out, we're pushing down into the palms. Tuck the toes on the right side this time, kicking that left foot all the way up. Open the hip. Left leg comes down to meet the right. You're going to bring the feet close together. Extend the knees out toward the opposite sides of the yoga mat. Lower yourself down, extended child's pose. And you can extend the arms all the way out. Reach them toward the front of that yoga mat and really stretch here, letting the tailbone get heavy. Maybe make a little pillow for your forehead with your forearms here, and then rest your forehead on your forearms and just rock side to side on your forehead. Little love for that third eye. We're going to slow things down, come down onto the back from here. But stay here for a few breaths and really focus on, as you inhale, feeling the expansion in the rib cage. Notice where your breath goes. Exhale, long, slow, releasing tension. Try not to let your mind get busy. Come back to your intention.
Come back to all the sensations that you feel, all your blood flow moving around from what we've done so far. When you're ready, we'll meet on our backs.
Do keep your props nearby just for when we finish out our practice. We're going to end with them in a similar fashion to how we started. So far, no computer self-updates. Hooray. So meeting on our backs, feet are flat on the floor, knees are pointed toward the ceiling. We're just going to take some nice, easy spinal twists here. Reach the arms all the way out to the sides like you're making a T. Keeping your legs exactly where they are, but letting the knees fall toward the right. And your gaze can go toward the left if it feels okay. Really focus on, again, settling in. Notice your breath here. And as you inhale with those really big, deep inhales, where do you feel that breath going? Where do you feel the expansion on the inhale here? And start to notice, did you transfer that tension somewhere else? Did you start to clench your jaw? Did you lose that alignment in your shoulders? Do a little check-in, a little body scan all over and see if there's anything else that you're holding on to that you can let go of. Two more really big, deep inhales and exhales here. So make it count. And then inhale, knees come back up to center, just going right to the other side, letting the knees fall all the way toward the left now. And gaze can go to the right. Just a nice little gentle spinal twist, using your breath here to get into all those spaces. So this pose won't do a lot if you're not taking those really big, deep breaths. So notice the difference if you take a shallow inhale versus a really big, deep inhale here. Two more really big, deep inhales. Really big exhales. Let them be really big, deep cleansing ones. Maybe make them audible on the exhale. Really sigh it out. Bring those knees back to center. We're going to do the same thing. Keep your arms where they are, this time crossing the legs. So cross that right leg over the left like you're sitting in a chair. So taking almost like a half eagle variation here, letting the knees fall all the way toward the right. Gaze goes to the left. Just deepens that twist a little in that left hip. And again, try not to hold this. Try to find a spot where you can settle in, let everything get heavy, and let the breath do the work. Coming back to your intention, whatever intention you set for yourself, or maybe you're just letting go and forgiving, using the energy of that full moon in Virgo. Really big, deep inhale and exhale here. 2 more. Inhale, bring the knees back up to center. You're switching sides, crossing that left over the right now, and the knees fall toward the left. Gaze goes to the right. Again, come back to your breath. Don't hold this. So if you get here and you find that you're stiffening up, that you're holding on to it, it's not going to work as well. Try to let yourself get to a place where, and maybe there's less flexibility and maybe you're not all the way down near the mat, and that's fine. But try to find a place where you can settle in and you're really aiming to feel that big, deep twist on the right. Opening up that right hip. Letting go of a bunch of emotional tension in this posture, which we all have. I have a lot of that right now. The full moon in Virgo is such an interesting energy. It's a clash of sort of an organizational and then a chaotic energy, and they kind of come together it's just like a very open, forgiving energy out there right now. So embrace that in whatever way it works for you, in whatever areas you can apply that in your life. Inhale, knees come back up to center. We're coming into a happy baby. We're going to take some leg extensions here in happy baby. So first, again, set yourself up if you got a little crooked. So flat on the back, feet are flat on the floor, knees are pointing toward the ceiling, and you're going to grab onto the knees with your hands and just guide the knees down toward your shoulders. So bring the knees sort of out toward the shoulders and then in rather than coming directly in, just to make a little more space. And then you're guiding the feet up toward the ceiling, and you can grab on wherever it feels good. Backs of the calves, backs of the thighs, tops of the feet. Maybe take a yoga toe lock, which is peace fingers around the big toes. Again, finding a place where you can settle in. Maybe rock side to side, massage that tailbone and that lower back of there. Maybe if you have the tops of your feet, maybe give yourself a little foot massage here. Maybe rotate the ankles. As you're exhaling, can you let the knees get a little heavier toward the mat? So using the breath as a tool here, really, really with the exhale, letting those knees get heavy, letting them come down toward the yoga mat, deepening that stretch. And then you're going to keep that left leg where it is and then start to play with extending that right leg out, taking that nice deep extension and then start to guide it toward the floor. So really big, deep, intense stretch in the inner thigh up toward the groin. Take what you need. If this doesn't feel good for you, don't go here. Stay in happy baby. Again, as you're exhaling, can that right leg come down toward the floor any further if you're in that leg extension? And then inhale, happy baby, and playing with the leg extension on the left now. So extending that left leg out. And again, play with it. See what feels good for you. It may feel totally different from one side to the other, and that's fine. Just deepening the stretch here. And if it doesn't feel good, if it's not for you, you stay with your happy baby, rock side to side, keep massaging your tailbone, keep massaging your feet, whatever you need, whatever your body is telling you you need tonight for a little self-love, a little self-care Sunday. As you exhale, can you let that left leg get a little heavier toward the floor if you are in that leg extension? One more really big deep inhale and exhale here. Make it count. And then coming back into your happy baby, we're actually going to end in a similar way to how we started. So you can roll up and grab your props for a sec real quick. So you're going to, again, set yourself up to make that bound angle, but this time it's going to be lying down rather than sitting up. And we're all going to take a little Shavasana. I don't usually do Shavasana during the live streams, but I feel like for the full moon, I think it would be really nice to take this nice open, receiving, heart opening Shavasana posture. So setting yourself up so you have the big toes together, the feet together, knees are coming out down onto your prop. So you've got that support, and then you're coming all the way down. And again, maybe you come back to that posture of one hand over your heart, one hand over your abdomen. If you have another blanket, an extra blanket, you can cover yourself up here too and get cozy. In our studio practice, this is a big part for me. I like to take an extended Shavasana and come around and do a little body work. So it's hard to achieve that same energy here virtually. But as you're lying here, see if you notice a difference from when you started your practice. Do you feel like you were able to let go of some of the stuff that's weighing on you? And maybe you'll leave the mat feeling a little lighter, a little more open, a little more forgiving. And maybe take this time to focus on whatever intention you set for yourself or whatever this means to you, this energy of being open and forgiving and letting go. Come back to those really big, deep inhales and exhales that we started with. And maybe you can feel them as you inhale. You can feel your abdomen expand. As you exhale, maybe make those exhales big, audible sighs, just letting go. Resetting for the weekend. In this case, for a new month. There's lots of reasons to be hopeful and optimistic. So hold on to those reasons. And now is a nice time too in this Shavasana after your practice to do another little body scan and see if there's anywhere that you still feel like you're holding on to any tension, starting with the top of your head and just slowly work your way down all the way to your toes. I forgive myself and others. And feel free to stay here. Or if you're ready to come out, bring the knees together. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a big squeeze. And we'll roll on up back to our easy seat. And you can start your week feeling a little lighter, a little calmer. Bringing the thumbs to the heart center. The light in me honors the light in all of you. Thank you for sharing your practice with me, and I will see you next week. Namaste. And hey, you guys, no technical issues today. We did it. Have a great week, everybody.